it's Liz. Let's see. It's story time. You guys want to hear a story? I have this story that's in my head that, it's a true story, something that happened to me. I don't know, it makes me seem real stupid. I guess what I want to talk about is, this is like a red flag that I totally saw, that I totally ignored. I actually ate the red flag and was like, oh my God, that was so delicious. Thank you so much. So what happened? Let's talk about this. This was at the beginning of me and Corey's relationship. We lived in Seattle. That's where we met. We met at a catering company. We both worked at the same catering company. Corey was more Corey had been there for a lot longer than me, but he was more of a peripheral temporary worker, where I was had been there for a shorter time, but I was the sous chef for a period of time. So I was not there as long as he was, but I was whatever, a figurehead of sorts or whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. We started dating. Our first date was the day after Christmas, and we moved very fast. There was definitely love bombing involved, and I was definitely hook, line, and sinker falling for that. I was really lonely. I was newly sober. I got from alcohol. My sobriety date from alcohol is 1/15/13. So Corey and I's first date was 12/26/13, and they say you're not supposed to date for the first year. So but I was not in hindsight, I can see how emotionally immature I was. A lot of my emotional immaturity was due to abuse. There's a lot of things that my mom never told me about. There's a lot of ways in which my mom never gave me a backbone, because then I would have used it to stand up to her. And I did. I'm already a very stubborn person. I already have, on my own, I do have a pretty strong backbone, but my mom really did not like that. And, because it didn't go with her, agenda. I didn't follow script, and she did not like that. So she, but she also needed to be seen as the perfect mother, and she needed to be adored, and she needed to be coddled, and her feelings needed to be centered the whole time. So she could not out herself as my enemy at any point, although she did work, out in the open and behind the scenes very much as my enemy. And so growing up with my mom, who is my mom, made it really, and not realizing, I didn't realize until until after I had my kid, just how fucked up my mom was. It took me a really long time, to realize that she was abusive, manipulative, toxic, and unkind, and that I did not owe her anything. For a long time, even though I really disliked my mother, I didn't enjoy spending time with her, I as a person, or in a, I don't find her, if we wouldn't be friends, I wouldn't, and I did not get any maternal care from her, so there was no benefit for me in my relationship with her, but I kept it up because that's what I was supposed to do, because I wanted to be a good daughter. And I guess, and I I thought that me not liking my mom was because I wasn't a bad, it was because I was a bad daughter, and if I could perform better as a daughter, then I could like my mom more. Like that is how, but, and that logic, that weirdo fucking logic, right? That is what happens when you are in a abusive relationship for 40 plus years, right? Because you build a logic model in your brain to keep you in the relationship and keep you safe in the relationship. So you don't even realize you're doing it a lot of the time, and especially when you initiate this kind of relationship pattern with your caregiver, because you have to like your mom, to keep yourself safe as a child, right? Or like if you keep getting hurt by your mom, the way that you're going to write that logic in your head isn't, my mom is dangerous, I need to stay away from my mom. You're not gonna, even though you keep getting hurt by her, you're not gonna write that. You're not gonna link those two things together, because that makes your whole life unlivable. Because you're a kid without a mom. What the fuck are you gonna do? So you're going to write something that's easier for you to digest, or or easier for you to solve for, right? Like, so you're gonna say something like, my mom treats me the way that she does because I'm a bad kid, and if I can just learn how to be a better kid, then I can have a better relationship with my mom. Or she'll be like, yeah, then I'll enjoy her more. Or it won't be so, but I won't find her so draining. I won't, like I'll like her, hopefully, No, I never liked her. And I never really got anything out of our relationship. Except for trauma and gaslighting and bad advice and money sometimes. But she, I'm her daughter. And she's still, there's so many times where my mom sabotaged my success. College applications, my audition for North Carolina School of the Arts, student loans, not giving me good advice. Like, I actually should have stayed in, living at home and just going to community college and getting a part-time job. Like, that would have been such a better move for me to make it for my long-term success, rather than going away and going to college. Although I did not want to stay, because I hated my mom's house and I wanted to get out of there as soon as I could. I went to a school far away that I didn't really want to go to, but I went because my mom really wanted me to go to college, and I really wanted to get out of the house, and that's just how it kind of went, but then I ended up flunking out and accruing a bunch of debt and getting a scar on my face, and moving back to my mom's house. And I had to work, everybody has to work, but when I was going to Southern Oregon University, that first time I worked on campus also, because I had to, because I didn't get enough student loans and I didn't get enough scholarships, and because I didn't apply for schools early enough, and I didn't apply for financial aid early enough. But I didn't apply for financial aid because I needed like help with that. Like I was a teenager in 1997, and my mom like left it fully to me to do all on my own. Like all on my own. Like didn't go get the packets with me, didn't sit down with me and like fill them out. Didn't like none of that. And this is 1997 or 1996, you know, or even or like, yeah, 1996 when you're applying and stuff. Because you're not even a senior when you're applying, you're a fucking junior. Right? Like anyways, that's not true about the junior versus senior thing, but it is like it's a lot of like I would help my child now with their like filling out a FAFSA and you know, applying for colleges. Like when I became a parent and I like started thinking about all of these instances in my life with my mom where she totally didn't help me, and I can like now apply that with my purview as a parent, and I can be like, bro, what the fuck were you doing? Like you didn't teach me anything at all. Like you didn't teach me. Like I was basically just like raised by like she paid the rent and she gave me an allowance, and she kept us fed, you know, when she felt like it, but and we, you know, had our activities and stuff. She would drive us places and complain about it all the time. She complained about parenting all the time. And that's why I thought, like, when, just to finish up that, about college applications, like, for my kid right now, if she was applying to college, I would be doing those with her on the computer, even though she would know how to use, like, we would just do it together, just, or at least the first couple until she told me to go away, just to make sure she had all the information that she needed, and that she, like, didn't, you know, like, and if she needed help with her essays, I would help her with her essays, like, but that's not what my mom did. None of that. No. She didn't teach me how to drive. She signed me up for some weird driver's ed thing, but that was like, you know, but being like, late diagnosed ADHD and autistic, and going to another class after school where like, but they're teaching you like the driver's manual, like I would fall asleep all the time, and it was like impossible for me. I was exhausted after having to be at school all day. Like that's not, and it's not teaching me how to drive. That's taking me to like a, you know, so that was another thing that I failed, but it was because nobody was really looking out for me. And, you know, like when I did bad at something or when I didn't succeed, it was because I sucked. And when I did good, it was, you know, because my mom's amazing and she made an amazing daughter or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm so, thanks, you know, like she, you know, yeah, she liked to bask in my accomplishments but did not necessarily set me up for success. And if I got too good at something, then she wouldn't like that. But she would like it if I was good enough at something that she could hitch a ride to it. Like theater, like when I was in the high school theater department, she sold flowers, and made it a part of her personality. And also like that she was like the most supportive mom, but really she was just like selling flowers and talking about herself. And also, you know, like, you know, it's always with a person with a, you know, like somebody who is a prolific abuser like that, who is a manipulator, every interaction is an opportunity to get the word out. Like it's like a politician, you know what I mean? Like to spin the narrative, to, you know, create to put the perfect picture out of what she wants, you know what I mean? And she can also like, you know, backhanded compliment me, you know what I mean? Like say that she's saying something pretend that she's saying something nice about me, but really it's about her, and it's kind of like making me seem not as great to whoever she's talking to. I cannot give you an example of this, but that's what she does, because she doesn't like me. But she knows that other people like me, but she doesn't, and she doesn't like that, but she likes the you know, benefit she can get from it, but she wants to dampen it. She wants to control it. You know what I mean? Like, I am her, like, it very much is the legacy of slavery is alive and well in our society today, and you can see it in abusive relationship models where the abuser sees the person they're abusing as like a piece of property that they own, and that their life is not really theirs, and that they should be making the decisions. Like, Elizabeth doesn't know what she should be doing with her life. I know better what she should be doing with her life. So if she would just do everything that I say, then her life would be fine. Like somebody thinking that they have more, power over your life than you do is a legacy of slavery. No one has any more power over another individual's life than that individual. Like, thinking that you can love someone without wanting them to be like fully autonomous is the legacy of slavery. And I totally got off track about the story that I was going to tell you guys about the red flags in the beginning of my relationship with Corey Roberts. Okay, so that was just a tangent about how I got, a little background on my, the tape that was, what was on my tape, the tape inside my brain, the tape that your inner dialogue with yourself, your self-regard, your, the voices inside of your head, the tape. Until you interrogate your relationship with your tape is most likely your primary caregiver's nervous system, like regulated to your primary caregiver's nervous system, and also the nervous system of this abusive society, which is basically like the nervous system of an abusive old company man, or like an old white man, a mean boss, so in order to stay safe in this world, the tape in your head is one, to keep you safe with your primary caregivers, and to keep you safe in this very violent society that's a mean old wealthy white man's nervous system. And the reason that I call it the tape, because I like how tactile that is, like, probably because of, how old I am. The idea of a tape, is so tactile to me. Like, I can hear a cassette tape going in a tape player, and like coming, like I can hear that so well in my mind. And like, I used to make mixtapes, and like, or from off the radio, and then also taping from a CD, or or a whatever onto a tape, and rewinding and fast forwarding, and you can just like the tape, and like spinning the tape, all that stuff is so sensory attached to me. So the tactileness of the tape analogy is that it feels like something I can take out of my head. Like, I'm like, oh, a tape, like somebody put that in there, I can just take that out. And that really is like your brain just does stuff. Your brain just thinks shit. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean that it's what you really think, or that you should follow that thought anywhere. Your brain, you think of some shit, it just goes, like, like your brain will just go and go and go and go and go and go if you don't like distract it, or bring it down a notch, or focus it on something or whatever. But it's a computing machine. It's meant to, you know, collate and organize data. So it doesn't, you know, it does that. That's just what it does. Like, it doesn't, without, you know, even when that's not helpful, and if you have some other like faulty programming going in there, your brain's just going to be computing with that. It'll take, you know, whatever, you know, kind of like thought forms or thought patterns you got going on in there. It's going to take them and it's going to run with them, and you can go all kinds of places, you know. So, yeah, tape it out, tape over it. Okay, so the L's, or the red flags, Okay, so, Corey and I first started dating. There were so many red flags that I ignored. He was like 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. Even when we were like, even on our first date, when we were at the comedy club, there was like a possessiveness in his handsiness. Like right after our first kiss, like he kind of went like right after we like kissed, and he was very, 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 very physical, like in non-kissing ways, if that makes sense. I don't know. And I just thought it was like, you know, cute, nerves, passion, whatever. But it was like, it was that, but it was also compulsion, like addiction, like, and also like like, you know, predator or prey, like, this is gonna be delicious, you know. We started dating right at the end of the year, and I was on birth control, and I still got pregnant even though I was on birth control. And at the time I was 33, right? And Corey was 29, I think. Yeah. So, and we had only been dating for a few months, but, you know, we were both codependent, and, you know, we really liked each other. So we were like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens. Let's have a baby. And then, we went to the first baby appointment together, and there was no heartbeat. And, we were both crying. It was super emotional and very hard. And then we had to like go wait in the waiting room, and there were like other couples that were finding out that they were okay, you know, like that were having different results. And then they just sent me home, and then I went to work the next day, and the hospital called, and they were like, you need to come back here, and have a DNC. I don't know why we let you go home, but so then I went back there and had the DNC, and Corey came and met me at the hospital, and it was kind of like dramatic, you know, like, because he didn't know that they were going to take me, that they were going to like admit me and have that whole thing. And so then he came to the hospital, and neither of us had a car at the time, so we took the bus home together to my house. And he was like, I'm going to ask, and it was like right before my birthday, like maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month before my birthday that this happened. And his birthday is a week before mine. So, but anyways, he was like, I'm going to ask you to marry me on your birthday. And I was like, that seems ridiculous, but okay. And he was like, no, I'm going to ask you to marry me on my birthday. And I was like, and we had just lost a baby, so it was like, and we were being ridiculous, you know, I was dumb, and, you know, young, dumb, and full of cum, or whatever. You know, pretty much. So, yeah. So I believe, and I, like, believed him. Yeah. Because we had said other super serious things to each other. I mean, it had been taught, obviously, because we thought we were going to have a kid together. And there was lots of love bombing, and we spent way too much time together right from the get-go. And he was, like, looking for a serious commitment at that time. I even overheard him talking about it at work once before we were dating and before I was like, oh. Like, anyways. So, and I think that there was, like, a ring that I wanted. Like, he was like, hey, I'm, like, to show me what kind of ring you want, and then there was this, and we were downtown at this one, like, walking around downtown looking at stuff, and there was this ring, like, I think I can't remember if this was if we were ring shopping before this incident happened or after this incident happened, but, like, before my birthday or after my birthday, but at one point we were ring shopping. And then he like, backed out of it, like, made it, like, took it way to, like, of course, because he's Corey, like, we got me sized and like, it was crazy, but it's the future faking, always the future faking. For his birthday, I made dinner for him and his friends and family at his brother's house. And it was like Korean barbecue style, so I made a bunch of banchan, like, you know, like, small side dishes, and I went to and I didn't have a car at this point, but I went to, like, Owajimaya and bought a bunch of shit and took it to my house in West Seattle and, like, prepped it, and then also took it to his brother's house in Capitol Hill, and then cooked all of it. And I got him presents, and I, like, wrapped them in cutie wrapping paper, and it was, like, of course I went all out. I am, like, that is my fucking vibe, you know what I mean? I love to, like, you want me to throw you a party? Okay. Like, I love taking care of people, getting gifts for people, doing nice things, cooking for people. You know, I'm a Cancer rising, and I have a Pisces stellium, so I am a delusional mom. Well, if you say Pisces is delusional and Cancers are moms, you know what I mean, that very whatever. But Cancers are emotional nurturers, and they're anyways, that's not astrology in this. Anyways, so I went all out for his birthday, and for my birthday, remember Corey said he was going to ask me to marry him. So for my birthday, we had this plan, but also, and he was like, also, like, it's going to be a surprise, your birthday's a surprise, there's going to be a surprise on your birthday, and I can't tell you about it, your birthday's a surprise, I'm so bad at surprises, your birthday's a surprise, we're going to go out to eat with your family, and then, you know, I'll give you your gift, or whatever, I don't know, but, so, for my birthday, on the day when we're supposed to go out to have dinner, he comes and picks me up, because he's got his car, like, by this point, his car was working, and he had this old Chevy Valiant, so he came in to pick me up in the Valiant, and, he was like, I wanted to show you, he was like, before we go to meet your family, let's go to that park that we went to, because it's right by there first. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go to the park. And of course I'm thinking, there's a surprise on my birthday, you want to go to the park by the restaurant before we go meet up my family, you're going to ask me at that park. So we go to the park, and we just sit on a bench, and and there's nothing happens. And then we go, and he's like, okay, well, we came and sat at the park. Let's go meet up with your family. So then we go to the restaurant to meet up with my family, and he's like, oh, but after that, we're gonna go, but after dinner, we're gonna go have cake at, this other park, and watch the sun set or some bullshit like this. Then this is like, I'm not an eat outside person. Like, I would never, like, I didn't want to do this whole, like, after dinner we go to a park and have cake, because my worst, like, I can't imagine anything that I'd rather not do than eat cake outside with my family. But anyways, that's what we go to do, and then on our way there, Corey's like, oh shit, we're right by this thing, just me and him in the car. Let's take this detour. I want to show you this place. We go to the place. We get out. He shows me the place. He doesn't ask me to marry him. We get back in the car. And then we go meet up with my family. We have cake. My mom gives me a present. I don't know. Everybody's talking. I'm totally blacked out at this point. Like, and when I say blacked out, I just mean, like, I am, like, disassociated, and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I'm totally fine. Like, I've done that to myself. I've been gaslit and gaslit myself completely out of my body. I was just like, I don't know what I was doing, but I don't remember, like, I was just, like, really embarrassed and really sad. And my cousin came up to me and was like, the same one who molested me, the same one who's a coach at West Seattle High School. He's a basketball coach there. Dirtbag, prolific abuser, disgusting, hate his guts. He came up to me and said, finally found a real man. And I was like, ew, okay, gross. And then, we went home or whatever, and, my present from him was, are you ready for it? Chef clogs. He's like, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at presents. I thought you were gonna ask me to marry you. Oh, I mean, I am. I mean, I was. I mean, I am. I just didn't. I don't think you really thought I was gonna do that. Well, because you said you were really gonna do that, like, very many times. Oh, well, I just say stuff. You should know the difference between when I'm saying something and I mean when I'm saying something and I don't mean. Like, I mean, I am gonna marry you. Of course I love you. Of course I would never do that. Of course whatever fucking, whatever he said, dodge. And it was like, I'm sure it was a, total obfuscation. Like let's leave that conversation behind and talk about how when we were at dinner and I asked for water and you said you could have a sip of my water, I didn't want your water. I wanted you to wait for the other water, and I thought it was rude that just something, whatever, to get me to shut up, So, and that was at the beginning of our relationship, and, yeah, I still had a baby with him 2 years later. So, big brain on this. I used to be so dumb, you guys. So embarrassing and so dumb. I mean, God, but like, love little Liz. Oh my gosh. Also, just so like gullible. Yeah, I used to be a very different person. Anyways, let's I really want to whiten my teeth, but look, every time I make a video, I'm like, oh my God, Liz, but I live in my car. I suffer from a lot of stress in my life, and it's hard to take care of myself the way that I'd like to. I'd also like to dye my fucking hair. Holy shit. In this light, you can really see how green the ends are. I really want to dye it, but it costs like $44 to get all this stuff, and then I would also have to have a room, you know what I mean, to do it in, so I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, darling. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just being a silly goose. Yeah. I just had that silly story to report. Thanks for being here and listening to me blab on and on. I hope that, this was helpful. Because really, the whole point of me sharing my story and being so vocal, about poverty and abuse and stuff is so that, people who have gone through the same things, or people who are like on the precipice of maybe having to go through the same things, can be like, fuck no, I see what Liz did, I don't want to do that, that sucked, I'm not gonna go down that road. Or that you'll be like, I see how much compassion Liz is giving to herself, and I would like to give myself that much compassion. You know, that kind of thing. And so that you know, just like, yeah, I just hope that you can feel comforted, you know, soothed, like it's not your fault. You know, I hope that you can take away from my content that's, things were done to you, harm was done to you, and that you deserve justice, even though it's probably not available, you do still deserve it. Yeah. I'm gonna go inside, maybe. I'm not gonna go inside. I'm gonna turn my car back on for a little bit and warm up. I really don't like being inside places. I miss being, well, I'm gonna wait until it gets dark out, and then I'll probably go inside the library for a little bit, but I'm so sick of being in public. Yeah. You just burn out on it, you know? Especially for such like a private, introspective little critter like myself. I miss being indoors and like just being able to be inside somewhere and, you know, not wear a mask because I'm at my own house, and, be able to just use the bathroom whenever I need to. Not have to put a mask on to do that. Have all my stuff. I mean, like out and easy to, you know, like not, it's just, all of this is so hard. And, you know, my kid's dad is like, get a job until you can get a house and get your kid back. And it's like, you haven't, I've been, you know, like, first of all, the parenting schedule that you put into place, months and months ago makes it almost impossible for me to get a job. Like the one that we were on, like 5 to 5 or whatever, like, unless you have an office job and existing childcare, what kind of fucking job am I gonna get on 2 to 5 with that weird ass schedule? Like, what? And then now that I live in my car, what the fuck kind of job am I gonna get living in my car? And I can't, my brake pads, I need to invest money into my car to be able to work my car. And I don't have access to that kind of money. And I don't necessarily, like, I mean, I would do it in order to build up money, but I would need to build up money in order to do that, and it just doesn't seem like that, like, I'm not, it's just, so, anyways, I would love to have a house and a job, Corey, but you have made that very hard for me. So, yeah. I don't know why I had to add that on there at the end. Sometimes I just have, like, bugs of critical voices in my head that I have to, like, speak out loud in response to, you know? Yeah. It's not so easy, and also, not to mention that I've been trying to, or was trying to build my own business for so long, because that's really the most, entrepreneurship, especially for my personality type, is the most financially sustainable route, and the abandonment and lack of support and the additional burden of all those court appearances, because you sued me for custody and I had to be in court, what was that, 4 times in 6 months, plus 2 mediations, no, 3 court appearances and 2 mediations in 6 months, 8 months or something like that. But the the 3 court appearances and 1 of the mediations was all when I was in that apartment, most recently while we were doing 225, and I was trying to build my business and waiting for Care Oregon to pay for my rent and utilities like they said they would, and then, you know, they didn't, and I'm here. So when Corey Roberts tells me to get a job and get an apartment so I get my life together, maybe Corey Roberts, if you would stop sabotaging me, maybe that could happen. And maybe when you tell the story about what's happening with me and your role in it, maybe you should start telling the truth instead of lying all the fucking time. But I know that's not going to happen, because that's not possible, because you don't know how to not lie. So, yay! Life's so cool and fun. Anyways, thanks for being here with me, pals. Talk soon. It's really cold. I don't know when I'm gonna make another skate video. I did earn an Amazon gift card playing games on my phone. So I ordered some new, like base layers, like pants for under my pants, and like a thermal long sleeve to keep me warmer. So I'm excited about those coming because it's getting colder at night. Like last night was so fucking cold. And then also, I think I'll be able to, I think they'll keep me warm enough. I'm hoping that they'll keep me warm enough that I can go skating after they come, because I think it's a little too cold today, even though I'm going to try later. But, okay, this was a very long rant. Thank you for being here. I think you're so swell. If you want to contribute to my material survival, I would really love that. And my pay links are all in the channel description here on the Tube of You. And I'll try and remember to put it in the description of the video too, but if I don't make it, it's definitely, if you go to the channel, about the channel or whatever, it's definitely there. But even if you don't do that and you're just here, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so grateful for you, and I really do appreciate you being here and supporting me. Oh my gosh, subscribe, because that helps me get closer to monetization, which would be so awesome, to support my survival, you know? And also, every time somebody subscribes to my channel, my abusers hate it. So, it's good. Do it because they'll hate it, you know? And, give yourself a hug today. You know? If you can, take a bath with some salt in it. And if you can't take a bath with some salt in it, one thing that I was doing for a little bit, is I had like a little jug with salt water in it, and I would pour it over my feet, just like stick my feet out of the car door and then pour the water over my feet and then dry my feet and put my socks back on, like just to clear my energy, you know, like instead of taking a salt bath, just like for spiritual hygiene kind of thing, you know? If you're into that kind of thing, just putting it out there, just saying. Putting salt in your bath is a really easy and efficient way to clear your energy. It can be table salt, it can be pink Himalayan salt, it can be sea salt, it could be Epsom salt, it could be a combination of all those things, you know? But put some salt in there. Okay? And belly laugh today. Dance your ass off. And if you can't dance your ass off, shake your booty just a little bit. And if that's not your thing, that's totally fine. Just try and sit with yourself. Give yourself a hug. Stretch a little bit. Check in with areas of your body. See how everybody's doing. Knees, ankles, shins. Guys? Okay. Alright. Thanks for being here, pals. Bye.